You are live. I thought it was dead. This is the Holly Bali News, and this is Aaron Zero for you. Hope you're doing fine. And bomb threat can't stop Gaga fever. The Rio gig was the biggest concert by female artist, and 2.5 million fans were there in attendance in on Rio's Copacabana beach, and it was the biggest independent concert by female artist. And she some of the songs she sang were Bloody Mary Bloody, Alejandro, and Poker Face. And she says, "You waited more than 10 years for me. You might be wondering why it took so long. Truth was, I was healing for 10 years. It's getting stronger. Tonight, I'm giving you everything I got." And so Rio goes Gaga over Gaga, and Brazilian Airlines were 90% booked. And concert was paid for by the city in attempt to revitalize Rio's economy with expectations it could bring 100 million in. And the Brazilian police said they arrested two people in connection with the bomb plot, but they didn't tell anything to the Lady Gaga team. So, all in all, a successful concert with 2.5 million fans. I remember the Rolling Stones had a concert there too, and I think the attendance was a million or so, but it was definitely the biggest concert of their career. All the acts that have performed on Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, that has been their biggest audience. And they have a huge, the beach itself is, I don't know, 2 miles or 3 miles long, and they have these big screens in between so they can see and hear the artist. So it's quite amazing. So Mr. Trump calls film shooting outside US national security threat, orders 100% tariff on them. I wonder if this fellow is going loony. And tariffs don't mean a thing. It'll mean movies will become more expensive for an American to watch. In any case, 14.5 billion was spent on production in USA, with a 26% drop compared to 2 years earlier. So a lot of production going on in USA, in LA and New York and whatever. And top five preferred production locations for 2025-26: Toronto, Britain, Vancouver, Central Europe, Australia, because it's much cheaper, it's more streamlined, and they also get tax credits. That is the filmmaker, the film production company. So that's a tax incentive for them to shoot there. And a lot of movies that uh, that are covering American locales are shot outside. For example, there was a movie like San Andreas, which is about an earthquake in California, was filmed mostly in Australia. And I can see The Rock here as the actor here. So, movie making will continue no matter what Mr. Trump says. And of course, it didn't help that there were some strikes in the United States in the past couple of years. So that's why they moved their filming locations overseas. And it has been for decades, but rarely has Hollywood been so bustling overseas at a time. And studios in European countries are bursting at the seams, industry workers say. And unlike California, some countries allow productions to include residuals and the costs to employ actors, directors, and producers when they calculate their expenses, driving up the size of tax credit they get. So, reality TV, game shows, etc., Even without those incentives, filming outside the United States is cheaper, more streamlined than a state with a refund. So that is the Hollywood news. And then we are turning to Bollywood. Our biggest hits had a footfall of just 2% of our population. So where is 98%, according to Mr. Amir Khan, well-known actor, speaking at the Wave Summit in Mumbai. So according to him, we have about 10,000 screens in India, 5,000 in the south, and the rest in the rest of the country. So where do the people watch then? 98%. Well, 98% watch on TV, on OTT shows, which are released at the same time. So that is what happens there. And Kiara owns the night at her first Met Gala appearance, which is a Metropolitan Gala event at the Metropolitan Gala in New York. And so you have these stars going out there, and theme Superfine, tailoring blacks style and showcasing Indian excellence of fashion's biggest night, draped in custom couture by Gaurav Gupta. Her look celebrated her cultural roots and her personal evolution. Anyway, I may be wrong, but I think this Met Gala and all these galas in the US of A is mainly to celebrate the American people and their white culture, white people, and stuff like that. So I don't know how much it would get the brown faces, but that is. So he continues, he says, why are films not doing well? You're telling the audience we will deliver them home. So a lot of your film is are killing your own business. Amir spoke about the self-saboting nature of current distribution and release model where films are available on OTT within a week. You are killing your own business. If I tell you buy a car now and you don't, I'll deliver it to your home in 4 weeks, why will you come? You'll say, okay, drop it at my house. That's what's happening there. This is something that needs to be looked at. It's just a very funny business model. And in India, there are entire districts where there are no cinemas, and according to Ritesh Sidwani, he says there are codes where cinema demand exists, but there are no screens. In India, there are entire districts where there are no cinemas. That's where we need to build them. Delhi mein abhi aur mat banana. And according to Shah Rukh Khan, I believe the call of the day is a lot more theaters in small towns, cheaper theaters, so you can show more films to people in every corner of the country. We can showcase Indian films in whatever language, a larger majority of Indians at cheaper rates. And so at 16% occupancy, how would the business work? So you need more theaters, more structure, and that is what it is. Are you cleaning a water bottle now? And so Pope Francis also is going to be chosen on May 7th. So there are a lot of movies on the Pope and films on Pope Francis, the two popes 2019, Pope Francis, a man and his word 2018, Francesco 2021, letter and message 2022, in Viaggio Travels of Pope in 2022. 23. I want to explore loneliness of power, peculiarities of life in Vatican, and power of solitude. And that is all the entertainment we have for you. Subscribe by a million or a billion. Thank you so much.